Ciao, ciao, ciao. Welcome, 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 six-figure wedding and event business owners. Excited to have you in today's free training, the 3 secrets that our wedding and event business owner clients use to elevate the quality of clients they attract while they're turning those inquiries into raving fans. Let's get started, you guys. I'm excited to have you here. And I wanted to start with some of the myths or why this happens, these myths of the wedding and event industry that have us doing things a little bit wonky or not really understanding how some things work or having a harder time getting to our goals. Now, some of the myths that I've heard out there that I've experienced even in my career out there is that what we do is fun. It's our own belief that what we do is fun and therefore ... meaning that, we shouldn't charge as much, or people thinking, potential inquiries and clients thinking, oh my gosh, it's so much fun what you do. You shouldn't get paid, compensated for that because it's fun. That's the compensation. Another one is that if we charge too much, if we're too expensive, we won't get hired. So we're not increasing our price point, or we have a hard time trying to charge our worth. The other one is that bargaining and negotiating is a thing. I often find that there's inquiries who just are thinking that, you know what, so-and-so charges only that much. Are you going to charge that much? So those are myths just in the inquiry process and trying to get booked. Myths within our business is that in order to get more clients, we have to throw money into advertising, and that's the only way we're going to bring in those inquiries and those clients. The second one is posting on digital media is what's also going to get those clients attracted to us. So we're just kind of blindly using and leveraging only social media in order to do that. And also that we have to say yes to every client, whether it's yes to every inquiry and have them book, or yes within working with our clients, having to be a yes person. That's another myth that I have found that it's a little bit harder to overcome. And the last belief or myth is that we don't have the time, or maybe we don't have the knowledge. And that's why we are not setting up the systems that are really going to help us in our business, have it work for itself and elevate the value of what we offer our clients and also free up more time. But you don't have time, so you can't free up your time. So I wanted to crush those myths and talk about how those myths, along with what I have found has happened in our industry since I've been in it for about 15 years now, is that the wedding and event business owners, the creative professionals that I work with, that I've encountered, that are in this industry, they're really, really good at what they do. They are super creative, very, very talented, but they may not have had business training, or they're just trying to experience things and run a business as they go based on their talent. And those are 2 different things. When you're creative and you're good at what you do, and running a business is completely different. So what typically happens is these business owners just start mimicking what the competition does. They start looking at what other people are doing and they're trying to run their business like that, or trial and error, trying to figure it out as they go, or even a combination of those 2, but they never really know what would work for their own business. So they continue doing things difficultly. And it's just like wearing someone else's clothing, right? Like they just don't fit well. If, maybe the seam is a little off where you just don't feel as good in it. When you run your business this way, that's exactly what happens, because you're not doing what works well for your business. And you think that you have to book more clients to make more money. And what happens when you run your business this way is that's why you're attracting those bargain hunters. That's why your conversion rate is low and you're getting ghosted. You're staying in this wheel of hustle, and you're not able to elevate the quality that you provide, or the service you provide, or the clients that you attract. You're working so much harder than it needs to be constantly. And we're in such a cyclical business that you're making less money per hour if you break it down on how many hours you put in. And you also, with this mindset, make yourself a small fish in a big ocean, meaning that you've got so much more competition to push through when you have that one strategy of booking more clients to make more money. And you end up working more hours because you're going to have to say yes to every client, and you're a small fish in a big ocean. And then, you get these ups and downs, and sometimes you worry or you try to escape the woes, the trials and tribulations. Things just may not be going your way, and you either succumb, you lower your pricing, or you just escape, or you stop working on your business, or you lose that motivation, and your business becomes cyclical as well. So what I want to ask you is, instead of booking more clients to get more money, which of these two sounds better to you? These two options. Would you rather be giving up 40 weekends, 40 events at $2,500 per event? Or does giving up only 10 events at $10,000 each sound better to you to make that $100,000 in a year? So that's what we're going to talk about today, is elevating the quality of clients you attract. I'm not saying by any means of the imagination that you can make a jump of your price point from 2,500 to 10,000. What we need to do is use these three secrets that I'm going to share with you in order to elevate the service that you provide, understand what it is that you provide, and attract those clients who are looking for exactly what you have to offer, and then being able to do it over and over again. So once you do this, and once you adopt this method of understanding that really it's about not casting the net so far, it's really about being more purposeful, you're poised in the driver's seat of your business. You're wearing this cape of freedom because you have more free time, and you're able to make more money per hour. You don't have to work in your business as much. You are attracting those perfect clients. You're not having to sell so much. You're not having to stop and spend time on inquiries and rewriting proposals and getting ghosted or getting negotiated with. You're actually just easily attracting those perfect clients, and you're thriving because your business is elevated, because your clients are getting more from you. They are happier, you're happier, and they turn into raving fans. And now they're referring you also high-end clients, and they're speaking your praises to everyone, and your conversion rate goes up. So you're not having to work so hard to get those inquiries. And now you're running your business with joy and ease, and things just don't have to be as hard when you adopt these three secrets that I'm going to share with you guys today. All right, so real quick, ciao, ciao, ciao. I'm Zoe Felici. If this is the first time you're seeing me, I wanted to share with you who I am, why you should even listen to me. And my background is, first of all, I'm 100% Italian. I was born in the womb, celebrating and planning the next event, which was, of course, my birth, as my mom always jokes around. But jokingly, we do say that in Italy, we're always planning the next meal at one meal. And so naturally, event planning came to me. I didn't really seek it out. But my background is, I come from luxury hotels. I started after college working for Four Seasons Hotels, and a lot of what I learned working for that amazing company, I adopted into my business. And that's what sets my business apart from a lot of other wedding and event business owners, just because that's what I learned. I literally wasn't expecting to get a better education working for a luxury resort company than I did in college, because that taught me the systems and processes, how to deliver excellence, how to be consistent and effective in having these raving fans and loyal customers that are willing to pay more. And then I started my company after I left luxury hotels. I started my company, Felici Events. That was back in 2006. And you guys, I've seen and done it all. I have produced large festivals, intimate dinners, celebrity weddings, bar and bat mitzvahs, you name it, corporate events. And some of my favorites are actually fundraisers and giving back and having impact in my community. So I have seen and done it all. I have run my business from the ground up, started it from scratch, and enjoy what I do in my event production here. And then also in about 2015, about 7 years ago, I purchased a blog. I had a friend of mine who had started this blog, SantaBarbaraWedding.com. And the whole point is to attract clients or couples to Santa Barbara to have their wedding here and share with them what the best of the best is out here. So what I do with SantaBarbaraWedding.com is I use digital platforms, the blog, social media, all the techie, nerdy stuff that I love doing to put Santa Barbara on the map for engaged couples, whether they're locally wanting to get married here or they don't know where they want to get married, attracting couples to come to Santa Barbara and get married. So I've become a regional micro influencer because of this business and a destination wedding blogger as well. And I know the ins and outs of what couples are looking for and how to attract them to get them to what they are looking for. So I do that for my community, not necessarily for myself and my own business. And I really enjoy it. And it's really set me up for success in the digital marketing space around the world. All right, so let's get to it. Let's talk about discovering these 3 secrets. Like I shared with you, it was luxury resorts that really catapulted a lot of the knowledge that I'm going to share with you today. And how did I apply it to my businesses? And when I started applying it to my business, I saw these changes and I was building my business with these in mind. And other people, other wedding and event business owners, and I became friends and we were sharing stories and the things that I shared with them and they started applying to their business, some of these 3 secrets, their business changed and their business transformed and they were doing much, much better in their niche. And so that's how I really got into coaching, quite frankly, is because I was helping so many people here locally. And they said, Zoe, you have so much knowledge. What you say works. You really should be sharing this with the world. So I'm excited to be here today to do exactly that. And let's get to those 3 secrets, you guys. All right. Now, the very first one is the thing that I want to make sure that we understand is that this is going to be a 3-part conversation, right? Because it is the 3 secrets, but the Felici matrix, as I call it, is really the pinnacle or the 30,000 foot view of how I implement or how I came to see these 3 secrets that I'm going to chunk down and break down for you. So the very first thing is that most business owners, like I said, in our industry are creatives. They kind of fell into doing events. Maybe you started doing events, you love design, you're really good at it. You started doing it for friends and family. You realized you enjoyed it. And then boom, all of a sudden you're trying out as a business, but you never really got the formal education of a business. So really your main goal is just to make money and you're out there promoting yourself and you're out there with word of mouth and trying to get more business, but you've never really set the foundation or gotten the clarity on what your business is all about. You just know you're really, really good at it and that you can make a lot of money with it. It's just the other part. And what's really missing there is that foundation. So we're going to talk about that first. And then once you set the foundation, then the building starts of sharing it with the people right away. And oftentimes people do the opposite. They think they just need to start sharing what they do with everyone and then miracles happen, but you're not really setting yourself up for success with a foundation. It's like having a house and just building it, not putting the cement slab down. It's just going to start cracking and falling and, holes will happen and leaks will happen. And now you're trying to just be on life support. And then once you do those 2 things, once you share it with the right people, once that business and you have that workflow coming in, you have that foundation that's so sturdy, then having that consistency, because again, we are in an industry of ebbs and flows. Business comes and goes. We're seasonal. Events happen here and there. And we want to maintain that consistency throughout the year, throughout the day, throughout the events. All right, so let's get started. So once you set this up this way and you have all the building blocks topped one on top of the other securely, only then are you able to elevate the quality of clients you attract. And what happens when you elevate the quality of clients you attract, and again, that means you're elevating the value of your services, then and only then is your creativity unleashed, because work doesn't become such a hard thing to do. Running the business doesn't become so cumbersome. You unleash your creativity. You spend more time doing the things you love, being in your creative realm of your niche of your business while you're booking those higher end clients, working with those perfect clients. That workflow just becomes a lot easier. You're booking or uncovering consistent additional 5 figures per month, and you're having more impact, more freedom, and more income in your business. So, you guys, this is a no brainer because ultimately that's why we got into the business in the first place. Business really shouldn't be so hard. And it's also not a one size fits all, but there is a beautiful formula and three great secrets that we're going to talk about that will make all the difference. So, get comfy, get pen and paper, pay full attention. This is going to be the best 20 minutes you'll ever spend on your business, guaranteed, you guys. So let's start with secret number one. And I've talked about this before, and I love sharing this because I think this is really where we start faltering at the very beginning with our insecurities. And our insecurities are, I don't know how to package my pricing. I don't know if I'm going to attract the people. I think I'm too expensive. It's all these questions of, are we really doing what's best to attract or to book business? But what we forget is that really we need to be looking internally, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But by being internal and by appraising or taking inventory of what is really your value and your worth, instead of comparing yourselves to others, why are others doing so well? How are others packaging their pricing? How are others getting all those, amazing couples or amazing clients? Instead, it's an inward conversation, and we start by appraising, what is my value? What is my worth? Start looking internally. Now, like I said, most business owners, what they do, they think they need to book more clients to make more money. So what happens is they're just really in this frenzy of booking anyone that they can. Right? They're going to say yes to any inquiry, and they're probably going to undervalue or even undercharge or succumb to these negotiations just so that they can book those clients, right? They're going to think that price point is really the pinnacle of why they're not getting hired. But really what happens, or what it is they haven't identified their superpower. They don't really understand what their mission statement is. And that is the compass for everything, because that sets you in the direction that you want to go. So by doing these three things, by thinking that you need to book more clients, by undervaluing yourself and not identifying your superpower, you're really not setting the foundation for your business. And when you don't set the foundation, you haven't appraised your worth. What is it that you bring to your perfect clients? Why should they work with you? And by not appraising your worth, first of all, if you don't see the value in what you have to offer your clients, your inquiries certainly will not see it. And they're just going to overlook you. And that's why you're getting ghosted, you guys. That's why you're getting ghosted, because this is not a price point conversation. This is a worth and value conversation. So how can you sell something that you see no value in? The second thing that happens when you operate without appraising your worth is that you're known as the cheap option. And by being known as the cheap option, you're going to get referred by cheap clients or cheap vendors who see you as the cheap option. So you're going to stay stuck in this whirlpool of being the cheap option that is really, really hard to get out of. And the third thing that happens if you don't appraise your worth is that you're actually detracting the right inquiries, meaning that people are thinking, they're way less expensive than the other ones. So what's wrong with them? Or they may not hire you because you're too low priced, or they take advantage of you because you're too low priced because they think you don't know what you're talking about. So these are the reasons that you're getting ghosted. And these are the reasons that you're attracting those bargain hunters. It's simply because you haven't appraised the value of your worth. And in order to do that, like I said, you actually need to look inward versus outward. Take a look at yourself. What is my superpower? What are the values, the added values that I provide for my clients? And what are the outcomes that they're looking for that I can share with them and know with certainty that I provide those outcomes? Once you get really clear on those three items, you guys, and you put those together, that's when you're going to understand your worth. And that is how you appraise your worth. So you can clearly understand what it's about and talk about it in a very legitimate, honest, and clear conversation, which takes us to secret number two, because now that's brand visibility. And not unless you're clear on your value of your worth are you able to get into brand visibility. And this is the secret number two. But typically what people do is they think that this is the one they have to conquer first without having set the foundation. And that's really the biggest mistake right there. You don't want to get your messaging out there if you're not clear on what it is. Because if you haven't set up your foundation and you're just jumping and you think you have to market to everyone and you think you have to cast the net far and wide just to get more business, what happens is when you do things this way, you're not speaking to the ideal client. You're not talking to those perfect clients. You're talking to a warm body. And again, you guys, I know when I worked luxury hotels, there was a very thorough hiring process that we went through to hire even just a busser, even just a dishwasher, even the general manager had to go through those same steps because we didn't want just a warm body. We didn't want to work with just anyone. We wanted to work with and build a culture of, which is building a brand visibility, of having qualified people who really care about hospitality, who will provide the value added services that the company's mission statement says that they give. So you should be doing that in your business as well, in your brand strategy. Like, what is your compass? What is your mission statement? And then operating from that instead of trying to be hired just by anyone, just by any warm body. The second thing, if you don't have that brand visibility and you haven't done that footwork, is you're posting on social media, but really you're doing that without any engagement. People are maybe liking your posts, or maybe you're getting some traction and people are liking them, but they're not converting. They're not becoming clients. And or you're also wasting money on advertising. And I've seen this again with the blog Santa Barbara Wedding that I own. I get to write listings for the members that are on there. And oftentimes the about blurb is exactly like someone else's. They're not identifying themselves as with their superpower, with their brand, with their niche, and with their worth. So you're just blindly doing that. And what consumer is, you're looking from one website to another, from one Instagram post to the next, and they all look the same. And now there's no differentiation, because what happens is you're copying from competitors. You don't have that marketing strategy. And again, like if I'm at the grocery store and I see that there's 5 different kinds of one thing that I need to buy, I mean, I just get confused. And then I just look at the price point. If I think they're all the same, and I might buy the lower priced one. So that's where you're setting yourself up for having a price conversation instead of a value conversation. And so this goes into your digital visibility, which goes into everything from your website to your inquiry form to how you handle your inquiries, having that inquiry conversation, on to also elevating the value of your worth and really working with your ideal client throughout until their event is done, and then getting those referrals. And it's a much different conversation when you have that brand visibility, because now you're attracting your perfect people instead of not doing all of this without knowing what works for your particular business. Because when you don't have a brand strategy, you're attracting the wrong clients, right? You're talking to anyone, you're going to get the bargain hunters, you're going to get people that are a-holes, you're going to get those bridezillas, people that make it just harder because you haven't really had the conversation. Like I said, I wouldn't hire just anyone for a job. I want to make sure that it's going to be someone that I would want to work with on my team. And I'm going to do the same for my clients. Without the brand strategy, you're just a small fish in a very big ocean. Like I said, those about pages blurbs, they all sound the same. If I go to people's Instagram and I look at their blurb, they're not set up correctly. They're not really engaging and capitalizing on what their mission, what their worth is. And so you make yourself a small fish in a big ocean. And essentially what happens is you become digitally invisible. Like I said, if I were to go to the store and there's 5 different types of soap that I can buy, and they all seem to be the same, and they're not setting themselves apart, and they're saying the same thing, that we're going to get you clean, I'm probably going to buy either based by scent, if that's what's important to me, or the bottom line, what is that price point? So that's why that's happening to you. And when you run your business without a brand strategy, you're now in a reactive state. You're not in the driver's seat having those conversations and attracting clients to you. You're really having to sell, which is a reactive and a hoping and wishing method of trying to get clients. And what happens when you do that, you're spinning your wheels so much just trying to get booked, just trying to get clients, that you're going to get just anybody and attract those wrong clients. It's going to suffocate your creativity, and it's going to suck on your confidence because you're getting ghosted and your conversion rate is super, super low. So it's really hard when you're always getting rejected or people just don't even get back to you to get back on the wagon and try to be your best and put your best foot forward and really market yourself when you're down in the dumps like that. So in order to get that brand visibility, what needs to happen is really message clearly and with focus. And what I mean by that is you have to take these three components so that you can be specific and clear. And instead of talking to everyone to just book you, I will work with anyone. I want to work with anyone who's getting married. I've heard that so many times. No, we need to be specific. So what you want to do to get that brand visibility is showcase what is your story. That's your mission statement. That's your story. That's your superpower. That is what we did in secret number one. Now that you know what it is, you want to showcase it in the right channels, because it's the channels, the digital platforms that are out there. You can't be doing that to everyone. And it's really, really lame, actually, when I see the same post on Facebook, Instagram, and other platforms that they haven't even changed the verbiage. It's just not as exciting. And again, it makes you invisible rather than visible. The second thing that happens is once you showcase your story, once you know your mission statement, you are able to connect emotionally to your perfect clients and attract them, because they're going to feel that you are the right person for them. And this happens even before you have that inquiry conversation. By connecting emotionally to someone, it's going to trigger something within those potential clients that says, wow, this is the right person for me. And they will be ready to buy from you even before you have that. So it pre-sells your services even before you have that inquiry conversation. And the third thing you want to do in order to have an amazing brand visibility, be a visible leader, is you have to be consistent. You can't be posting all of a sudden on social media and then not. You can't just be not responding to messages. You have to really be able to do it all. And that's a big chunk of time. And I get it. But when you set up secret number three, that's what's going to create that consistency that everyone is looking for, that really sets your business apart from everyone else. But when you create these three strategies with focus and clearly have them message for you, that's the only way to become that visible leader. So let's talk about being consistent. And in order to implement that, you guys, is secret number three. This is automation with personalization. Now, when I was in luxury hotels, this was a way long ago. There was no technology back then. I didn't even have a computer, but we had systems and processes. And by creating these systems and processes, or triggers, or something that something that made something else happen. Like, for instance, the standards of service. So we created standards of service that we knew were going to have 5-star experiences for our guests. And then from there, we had systems and processes. Some were technology, like making a reservation and putting a special request in there, and others were manually done. But the beauty is, this day and age, so much can happen with technology, or you can set up your own triggers to make sure that the next things happen. That's what we're talking about here. But what happens is, most business owners think that they have to do it all themselves in order for it to be done right. It's hard to be a solopreneur. We really make a mountain out of a molehill sometimes. We think we have to do it all. We think it's too expensive to get help out there, or that it's just not going to be done right. So we stay stuck doing it ourselves. Then there's also the opportunity where if we take our foot off the gas, it just all goes to heck, right? Like, oh my gosh, I have to work 24/7, answer emails at any time of day, because if not, people won't hire me. They think I'm lazy, or that I'm, stuff just won't happen. So that's another thing that business owners are doing that really is to their detriment. And what happens here is there simply is no time. There's no time, or there's no capacity in order to implement these systems and processes so that your business runs smoother, so that your business can run for you, and it's efficient, effective, and consistent, where you're dotting the I's, crossing the T's. It's just happening. And it's easier, instead of having to work really, really hard in your business. Because when you don't adopt any systems and processes, your inquiries will feel it. Your clients will feel it. And this is what creates a transactional experience. And I talk a lot about this in my training and my coaching, but a transactional experience, I'm sure you've experienced that, where people are doing the bare minimum. They just, whether you're at a coffee shop and they're just doing what they can just to get you out of there and you just feel like a number, your clients and your inquiries will absolutely feel that. And also you're lacking worth and value. You're never able to or have the capacity to elevate the value and the of services that you offer. So you're lacking in those values and worths because you can't take your foot off the gas. You're having to deal with the immediate things, and there's no room to expand in your business, in your day with your clients. And the worst part about not having systems and processes is that really it hits the bottom line. You're losing $10,000 to $25,000 a year or a month in revenue because number one, you're probably missing out on inquiries. You're dropping the ball. You're not getting back to people in a timely manner. You're not responding to inquiries at all. And if you're not responding, you may not even be able to upsell to them and you're being inconsistent. And those are the things that are at stake that put your reputation at stake. And those are really the financial costs that happen by trying to do it all yourself, trying to do it as you go, and not having these systems and processes. But instead, what you want to do is build your business and have those automations, have those systems, because then and only then can things get elevated. Can you upsell and can you make more money while all the I's are being dotted, T's are being crossed, and you're providing that white glove service. So I like to share my lemon seed story. My lemon seed story is when I worked at 5-star hotels, is that one of the side works that the servers had to do was to cut the lemon seeds out of the lemon wedges so that when the guests order iced tea, water, lemonade, Arnold Palmer, what have you, they would squeeze the lemon into it and none of the seeds would come out, and they never would have that annoying feeling of sipping on their straw and getting that lemon seed stuck in their mouth, stuck in their straw in their mouth, and then having to spit it out. And it's just a one little thing that elevates the value that you're providing. That is why Four Seasons can charge $6 for an iced tea. And that is why, an IHOP charges $1. It's just those automated system. When you cut the lemon, you take the seed out. When you serve someone the iced tea, you're bringing simple syrup to them as well, and the iced teaspoon and the straw. It's all there together, and the simple syrup is already melted sugar so that there doesn't have to be the inconvenience of the sugar of the bottom, right? So when you implement the automations and systems, you're actually anticipating your guest needs, you're anticipating your inquiries needs, you're able to pre-sell your services, you're able to upsell your services, do it quickly, efficiently, and effectively, and they are getting a better value. They're getting the best of you, and they become raving fans because they feel like you're providing this white glove service without skipping a beat each and every time. Because by implementing automation, you're creating that consistency, you have that productivity, you're improving your conversion rate, and it allows time for scalability and to grow your business. The personalization aspect of it is what increases your revenues because you're creating, it's kind of like a server that tells you the special and upgrades you and upsells you into what they think would be a great special for you, or a glass of wine that would go with that entree, something like that. It creates differentiation because it feels like, as a consumer, that I'm being taken care of, that you're not too busy for me, and that I'm being taken care of with my needs. And it creates that 5-star experience. And of course, bottom line is that it increases that loyalty. Now you have raving fans. They're giving you referrals. They're giving you repeat business, and you all win in this scenario. So if you are ready to take traction, you guys, to elevate the quality of clients you attract, here is how I can help. I have set up some time to do some free digital audits. These digital audits are a 15-minute call where we look at your messaging, we look at your pricing, we look at your visibility so that we can share instant feedback specific to you, specific to your business, right away. And that way you can implement it right away, and you can upgrade your messaging and start attracting those higher quality inquiries into your business. So we take a look at you digitally, and 98% of the wedding and event business owners who hop on these calls, they have massive success from implementing what we do in this 15-minute call and give them for free. So in this digital audit, we focus on three things, which is where is your business at right now? Where do you want your business to be? And what are the steps? What is that digital footprint that you have that needs to get you there? This is not a sales call. This is absolutely free, and it'll be the best 15 minutes you'll ever spend on your business, guaranteed, through this digital audit. Now, these digital audits are for someone who is ready to take action now, because we move quickly. And like I said, these will really help and thrive your business, take you from surviving to thriving rather quickly. You have to be decisive and committed and really, really good at what you do. You want to have that improvement. You want to have that desire for transformation. This isn't just, oh, well, it would be nice if. This is a conversation of, yeah, I want to do this and I want to make changes right away. And you want to be able to keep up, or want to have to keep up with the unusual requirements that our industry has, right? So if you're ready for a 15-minute free digital audit, let's do it, you guys. Go to zoefelici.com 15-minute biz audit. I put it right here so you can copy and paste it, or I'm putting it at the bottom of this live so that you can click right on the link, pick a 15-minute window that works for you, and I'll call you, and we'll Zoom actually at the time of your audit. You'll get some information before the audit of what we're looking for. We'll do a little bit of research on your digital footprint and get you set up for the call. So pick a time that works for you. Make sure that you're distraction free, that you're able to do a Zoom, that you're able to take a look at some of the stuff we're going to show you on Zoom, and dedicate distraction free 15 minutes so we can get you going on the right foot and elevate the quality of clients that you attract once and for all. Go to zoefelici.com/15-min-biz-audit. I'll see you there, you guys. Those appointments do fill up quickly, so make your appointment today. Pick a time that works for you, and I'll see you on those audits. Thanks. Ciao for now.